Pokemon Emerald is a beautiful game. It is a game with a lot of Pokemon mechanics, riddles, a gripping story, a very good graphic design, and it was its time already so far ahead. And now, it has millions of fans all around the globe. The predecessors Yellow, Fire Red and Crystal were also games that pushed my special feeling to that franchise. That one special game has a unique place in my heart. If I look up to Pokemon now with all their full 3D graphics and motions, I'm getting a strange feeling. A feeling that it will be never the same again. Pokemon Emerald got released in 2004 in Japan and was developed by Game Freak. It was published by Nintendo and influenced a lot of children. I noticed many years later my brother playing that game and it hooked me immediately. After several hours of watching him beating everyone up with his Pokemon, I also wanted to start my own adventure. So, I chose a genre, I took a name, and then I had my hardest decision of my life. Which star do you take? Even that simple question let my probably 8 or 9 years old me play the game several times to get through, because I always wanted to know what impact which Pokemon has into that game. It is a beautiful world with beautiful soundtracks and stunning visuals for that time, whether it's the fight against Team Magma in Aqua or the Pokemon conflict of the legendary Pokemon, or just talking to the NPCs in the game, which brings the whole atmosphere alive and makes the whole world feel alive. Many people, including me, are holding on to that experience, and with the newer generations, they are only getting disappointed. So, why is that happening? What's the reason? Some reasons for that are consistent creation of new Pokemon without seeing an end, or the new Mega Evolution, which is not that new anymore. Graphics, yes, graphics are great, even futuristic graphics are awesome to see in games, but with implementing newer graphics to new Pokemon games, it is hard for people, for old people especially, to feel that old atmosphere which is completely gone. And the plot is really good. The franchise has so many untold stories and side stories which are interesting and lead to further speculation outside the game. I still remember the times where Arceus wasn't even a plant of Pokemon and not even a part, but now it seems like Arceus was really not planned from the beginning. Younger people from today do like the franchise a lot, also older people still do, but there are in my experience so many older people which stick onto that old games and replay them every once in a while. With the newer games, I, for example, feel like I have to play that game to see what's going on in the new Pokemon generation, to be up to date without even having a lot of fun. I found myself only playing the game because of its hype, which was generated by its community. There were times where you didn't know anything about the game. You had to find out for yourself which item came before where and what it's good for. You couldn't look up when your Pokemon is evolving until it finally evolves, or you saw so many mysterious different places you had no clue about. I know, those things can be said to any game, like World of Warcraft Classic for example, but now you can look up everything by searching with Google and reading a complete walkthrough about your game, and every secret location of any certain item. Rumors are also gone. A lot of theories that exist are based on the older Game Boy Pokemon games and are also the best ones in my opinion about the game. Who doesn't know that? As soon as everyone in your school played Pokemon, everyone talked about it, and all of a sudden rumors were created. Mewtwo under the truck, Sunnytone. There were also magazines for children giving secret tips and tricks for Pokemon fans. Now it is like everything is on your way, just go, take them and continue your journey. In fact, it is not 100% like that, but you always have a clue of what you have to do, and which wasn't the case in older generation games. So what I want to say is, older Pokemon fans lose their joy of new Pokemon games and the franchise itself because it gets more and more complex. It is like we're showing a newbie a card game, like Yu-Gi-Oh for example. He gets hooked but doesn't know where to start because of an uncountable amount of different cards in the game, and that leads to a distance to the game. Older fans lose their joy because of the graphics and atmosphere, which is now completely different. In my opinion, I can clearly say that I don't feel like that Pokemon transmits the same feeling and joy in times I was a lot of younger than today. And of course, in these days you can't have that old feeling, and you will never, because time changes, and not only the world, also the game. But the new Pokemon Sword and Shield releases that really hype me a bit. I hope it's fast gameplay, memorable characters, and a very good story with beautiful atmosphere. I really think that the story is the biggest issue. Stories then were creative and very good. They had many different focus points, and they still are good, of course, but they don't feel as good as back then today. By watching the trailer to Sword and Shield, I immediately got a question in my head. Why can't there be a cool starter like in Fire Red, Emerald, or even Diamond and Pearl? Maybe that is again only my decision. I dislike the starters in Sun and Moon too, and I'm also not a huge fan of a lot of Pokemon designs. There are so many great fan art ideas and less good own produced official Pokemon. I think it is time for Game Freak to listen to their audience once more. Pokemon of course can have faces like humans, but why do you give a rabbit a round face and human-like eyes and mouth and the nose and not a snout, which would make the Pokemon look more like a rabbit? Of course it is possible, but that kind of technique is used on a lot of Pokemon, and there are only less cool ones and really beloved ones with a huge fandom like Lucario or Quajitsu. Very cool and awesome Pokemon, and I know there should only be a few very cool badass monsters as Pokemon, but come on, there are only simple good looking designs which could work out as a really good replacement for a lot of Pokemon today. Again, that is only a feeling I have today. It is my opinion, and it's totally okay if your opinion is different. But mostly I think you should see forward. Maybe it is also that kind of game which I don't like to play anymore because I played it a lot of times. Pokemon is a series of games I really love, and it definitely has a special and unique place in my heart. It's one of my favorite games, but we can't look always back and stick to our roots even if we have very good memories to back then. We fans of such a big world have to live on and move forward. We really need to open ourselves for a new era which might bring elements of them back to now, but who knows. We will see what the future brings, and I can say for sure that I will never forget the times from back then, even if I will never go through them again.